Red Bull is currently the strongest team in the championship, but other teams are starting to catch up. This is because Red Bull hasn't made any upgrades. However, things are about to change in the upcoming races because Red Bull has two significant upgrades coming soon. And they won't stop there. Buckle up and join us as we unveil the thrilling secrets of Red Bull's quest for glory in the world of Formula 1. But before we do that, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below if you like all things F1. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Red Bull, currently leading the championship, faces competition as other teams catch up. However, they have two significant upgrades coming soon. After a victory in the UK, Max Verstappen announced changes for the upcoming Hungary race. Modifications to the RB19, particularly the side pods, are expected to improve performance by 0.2 of a second. The car will also have a different appearance. Red Bull aims to enhance speed and visual appeal, possibly with innovative solutions from designer Adrian Newey. They plan to focus on next season early but still have plans for the current season. During the summer break, further improvements will be made, anticipating similar regulations for 2024. Expect more upgrades, possibly including a redesigned floor inspired by competitors' examination of Sergio Perez's crashed RB19 in Monaco. Max Verstappen, the Dutch driver, expressed his lack of concern regarding potential copycat behavior from his competitors. According to him, the competition is already engaging in such practices. As photographers hurry to capture images of the floor designed by Adrian Newey, Verstappen remains unfazed, believing that his rivals may have already found inspiration for their own designs. Verstappen stated, "They're doing that anyway. Of course it's not great, but on the other hand, the other teams are not stupid either. Even if they were to copy it completely, that doesn't fit the philosophy of their car. You then still have to adjust a lot of things. That's the same for us. We can't just put someone else's side pods on. That's just not how the car works." Verstappen's lack of concern stems from the fact that the Red Bull floor cannot be easily replicated and installed under another Formula 1 car. "In the end, I don't think it matters very much. This is our floor now. But in a few races, we'll have a new floor again. That one will be completely different again. It won't matter that much," added the championship leader. Since the statement was made, a few races have taken place, and it remains uncertain whether the updated floor will be incorporated into the RB19 for the upcoming weekend. However, its debut is expected in the near future. At the start of the season, Sergio Perez, the Red Bull Racing driver, believed he had a good chance of contending for the world title. With 2 wins in the first 4 races, Perez saw the possibility of achieving great things. However, after 10 races, the gap between him and his teammate Max Verstappen has grown to 99 points. Perez has come to the realization that winning the championship is not likely for him this year. Last Saturday, Perez participated in a Red Bull-sponsored demonstration in Madrid, where around 50,000 fans gathered to show their support for the Mexican driver. Unfortunately, Perez had an unpleasant message for his fans. "In Formula 1, only opposition after Abu Dhabi counts, but I'm not second in the World Cup standings by chance. I have won races, I've had a few bad races, but there is still a lot to achieve. My goal now, that is to become number 2 in the world, and I'm only thinking about the Hungarian GP," Perez told the media. Fernando Alonso is breathing down his neck in the rankings as a result of his dismissal campaign. The Aston Martin driver trails Perez by 19 points. Fernando is a big surprise this year. They have made a big step, but also McLaren in the last race. "Everything is much closer together with these rules," said Perez. Currently, Spain has 2 drivers on top-tier teams. Aside from Alonso, another Ferrari driver is Carlos Sainz. Perez, who is clearly Spanish-speaking, told the newspapers that supporters should be most excited by the fact that 2 Spaniards are fighting at such a high level. It's possible that Perez might stay in Red Bull, or they might consider promoting one of the AlphaTauri drivers. As for Daniel Ricciardo, there is speculation about whether he could return to Red Bull or if he is there to support Tsunoda's chances. Liam Lawson's impressive performance in Super Formula could indicate his suitability for an F1 seat at Red Bull. The future of Red Bull is uncertain, but many fans believe that Ricciardo could play a significant role. Recently, Ricciardo expressed his desire to win a world championship title, emphasizing his dedication to the sport. While Ricciardo has considered retirement, his return to the F1 grid with Red Bull proves he has no intention of stepping away anytime soon. After leaving McLaren last season, Ricciardo became a third driver for Red Bull in 2023, working alongside Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. However, an unexpected development sees Ricciardo set to replace Nick de Vries, an AlphaTauri driver. Just a few days before the announcement at the British Grand Prix, Ricciardo mentioned that he would accept a drive for AlphaTauri if it led to a permanent return to Red Bull. When asked if he envisions himself retiring as an F1 world champion in 5 years, Ricciardo laughed and replied, "Oh yeah, that would be cool." During a recent interview, Daniel Ricciardo shared his thoughts on retirement, drawing inspiration from Nico Rosberg's decision to leave Formula One shortly after winning his first world title in 2016, defeating Lewis Hamilton in the process. Ricciardo found Rosberg's move intriguing and hinted at the possibility of contemplating a similar decision in the future. "If I am world champion, I don't know if I'll be retired because that would mean that things are going well," he continued. "But then I do look at some sports. I follow UFC a lot, and a lot of fighters do stay a bit too long and their career kind of tapers. There is something kind of cool about going out on top." Then a look at Nico Rosberg, and I get it. But it also felt like maybe 1 year too early, so it's hard to find that balance. If I was to win a world title next year, no, I wouldn't retire. But if I was to win one in 5 years, maybe then I'd be like, that's a great way to sign off, he added. There have been speculations about Liam Lawson potentially joining Red Bull in the near future. Lawson's impressive performance in Super Formula led to considerations of a possible promotion to Formula One this year, particularly if Red Bull decided to replace Nick de Vries due to the rookie struggles. However, Daniel Ricciardo was given permission to replace de Vries for the remaining 12 races of the 2023 season, as AlphaTauri preferred the assistance of an experienced driver to help overcome their current challenges. During the Fuji Super Formula event, Lawson expressed his objective of using his performance in Japan to convince Red Bull that he deserves a promotion in 2024. However, he acknowledged that a mid-season promotion would have been unrealistic. Lawson aims to make a strong impression in his current series and prove himself worthy of a move to Formula One in the following year. "I always wanted to complete the season here in Super Formula. My goal was to get a seat for next year. To jump in mid-season would have been extremely tough. And in AlphaTauri's position, they were wanting someone experienced who has been in Formula One for a long time. So I understand their decision. But this is what I'm focused on. Any shot I have F1 rides on how I do here. So I have to complete the year in the best way possible and try to win this championship, which is what will give me the chance. I need to make sure I do everything I can to give myself the best opportunity. And then if it doesn't happen, I can say there's nothing more I could have done." Ricciardo joining AlphaTauri seems like a good fit since they need a seasoned driver. This means that Yuki Tsunoda's spot might be the only option left for Lawson in 2024. When asked if it would be great for Lawson if Ricciardo outperformed Tsunoda in the remaining F1 races this season, Lawson replied, "I just need a seat, and whoever's seat it is, I don't really care. I am just focused on this. It's what Red Bull has told me to focus on as well. The expectation is for me to go and win the championship, and then we'll discuss it." Lawson emphasized that he is prepared to transition to Formula One after being Red Bull's reserve driver since the middle of the 2022 season. "I'm the reserve driver this year. By the end of the year, I will have been the reserve for nearly 2 seasons. I am ready for Formula One. I want a seat. I will focus on doing the best job here so I can get that, and beyond that, it's out of my control." Following a remarkable win at Fuji in April, Lawson currently holds the second position in the Super Formula standings. He secured another victory at Autopolis and recently clinched a third victory at Fuji. It will be intriguing to observe which seats become available at Red Bull for the upcoming season. Will Red Bull's upcoming upgrades be enough to maintain their dominance in the championship, or will other teams catch up and pose a serious threat to their title hopes? With driver speculations and potential shakeups on the horizon, who will secure the coveted seats at Red Bull for the upcoming season? And how will these changes impact the team's performance and dynamics? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.